Doing? Before I start my set off tonight, guys, I want to congratulate Whitney Houston on over 1.5 years of sobriety. She did it. I got in a weird mood. I just got into a fight with my girl. Her dog just died, alright? And me being the good boyfriend I am, I went out and got her another one. She got all pissed at me. She was like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with 2 dead dogs?" I was like, "You love Chinese food? I don't know." Take off your white wig and quit judging. Right? You eat it too. That must be a terrible job being a Chinese food cook, don't you think? It must be an awful job. Because think of how rude a Chinese restaurant waiter is. And remember, he's the nice one. He's got the social skills. And that guy's just sitting in the back in a 120-degree kitchen, just sweating in the sweet and sour chicken with a sweat-stained t-shirt. All because he signed his life away because he wants his family shipped over here by FedEx. It's terrible. Terrible. It must be tough. It must be tough having a terrible job. It really was, like every single day. With the exception of Halloween, because Halloween's the only day that people don't judge you for your terrible life choices. It's the only day. You're coming down the street on Halloween, they look at you and go, "Look at him! He's a janitor." Every other day of the year they go, "Look at him! He's a janitor." It must be true for every crappy job, like a gas station worker or a garbage man or a pirate. Honestly, if you were in a bar any other day but Halloween and a pirate walked in, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on? Is this an acid flashback? What's happening?" "Arr, I just want a beer. Arr, arr, arr." Do you think pirates get offended by that voice? Do you think so? Because I guarantee those Somalian pirates don't talk like that. Be coming up to me after a show, "I don't like your impression." I don't know why he's Jamaican, but... And by Jamaican, I really just mean Miss Cleo. "Captain Phillips, we're taking your boat. Call me now." Speaking of racist, you guys hear that they want to change the name of the Washington Redskins? Do you hear that? Yeah, because it's not racially sensitive. Are we really worried about offending 6 people? And all 6 of them own casinos. They're fine. They want to change the name to the Washington Bravehearts. Oh yeah, because when I think racially sensitive, I think Mel Gibson. That's what I do. Wonderful. Speaking of sports, you know something my friends want to do? My friends keep trying to get me to go hunting with them. Alright? And I'm not going to lie to you, before you do that, I'm not going to lie to you, I ain't going. Because to me, there's a fine line between hunting and just getting drunk in a tree. And one of those I don't have to wake up early for, so... But they're always like, "No, bro, you gotta go for the sport of it, bro. It's for the sport of it." You're like, "Bro, you have an automatic gas-powered rifle with a laser scope and a hair trigger, and you're fighting a fucking deer." I hit a deer back out of my driveway last week. For a second, I thought I was in Jumanji. Turns out I wasn't. The deer's just a fucking moron. You don't need a gun for that. All you need is a Volvo. And he comes at me the same way. He's like, "No, bro, I use a bow and arrow like Robin Hood. That's the sport of it." I'm like, "Yeah, but Robin Hood used the bow and arrow against people trying to kill him with bows and arrows. That's not a sport either. That's a war. You want a sport? Go into the woods with a fork and come out with a bear. Now that is a sport. And then I will be impressed. I'll be like, "Hey, here's my wife." This is wrong. Hey guys, how do you make a nun cry? You rape her. You get it? I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. It was. Speaking of inappropriate, I'll give you one. Guys, and this is a question just for the guys. Just for the guys. Any guys ever punched your girl right in the face? I mean by accident. Are you one of the guys? Is there a dick under there? What I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying completely by accident. I'm not saying like you came home after losing 10 grand on the Super Bowl and dinner was cold. I don't mean that. Because that's 100% understandable. I totally get that. But I was like, this one girl, I did that. I did it by accident. I was dating this one girl, I'll say like 3.5 weeks. And we were still in that honeymoon phase, you know, when we still do romantic shit for each other. Like, I buy her flowers and she blows me. So I decided to really class it up. So I took her on a nice sunset walk through the park. Romantic shit, guys. So she's walking on my arm, wrapped around it. And keep in mind, she's 5'6". I'm 6'3". That's a difference of 9 inches. And it's all cock, ladies. But while we're walking around, at sunset, little did she know I was just broke, but I should think it still counts. So she leans up and gives me a nice kiss right on the cheek, which does nothing for me, but I thought it was very nice. And as her head goes below my shoulder, my face walks right through a spider web. You know that feeling. You know that feeling. I can feel it on me right now. Oh, my mouth is open and everything. My arms start flailing, and I connect with the uppercut, like boom! And her head goes up like a rock'em sock'em robot. Just boom, and down like a sack of dimes. What's even worse, I don't even immediately check on her. I look around to see if anyone saw me do this. Because from an outsider's perspective, it looks like she kissed me on the cheek and I came through like Ryu, like, I don't get the... After I noticed there are no more witnesses, I turned my attention back to the girl, because I'm a gentleman. And I try and wake her subtly up. Hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And she wakes up and the tears just mix with the blood coming out of her mouth. It's terrible. And I start apologizing immediately, of course. And I start saying, like, I'm so sorry, and I explain to her about the spider, which makes me look very manly, by the way. And then after 15 minutes or so, she finally says, it's okay, I forgive you. And to this day, I can't believe she bought it. All right, guys, I'm Dan Farley.